Hey everybody, good afternoon. Happy Friday. We are here it's been a beautiful day in San Diego, so I know hopefully some of you guys enjoyed some outdoor time. Cole, I know, is going to be joining us, and he's in Texas, so it might be a little darker outside there by now. But I guess you can't see Jazz, but Jazz is here. He's on the back. You can see his tail dangling down there. Hey, good afternoon, Aiden. Glad you could join us. So once again, just letting everybody know, it looks like we've got a handful of others watching. If you let us know that you're watching in the comment section, that way we know who all is here. And then also, if you are watching on your TV at home or you're watching on your mobile device and it won't let you engage in the chat, you're welcome to just send me texts. I've got my phone here right now. So we're just going to hang out for a little bit as we continue to get people logging on. I was actually getting on at the very last minute as I was getting some of my stuff together. So happy Friday, everybody. Yes, Amy, happy Friday. It's glad that we can enjoy some sunny San Diego weather. It's starting to feel a little bit like summer is just around the corner. We are less than 1 month from the time that school is going to be out for summer. I know the Powell Unified School District gets out on the 18th of June. So today's the 21st. So we're less than 4 weeks. I guess school ends on, I think, Thursday. So 4 weeks or 1 month away from the end of the school year. So we've got some fun stuff planned for us hanging out today. We're going to actually play a game that we've played before that went really well as far as playing on online with the screen games. So some of the games that we play typically at MSM and Highway don't always translate to trying to do on a YouTube live program, but this one worked out pretty well. So we're going to try it again. It's the one where you try to be the fastest person to find the matching graphics, but we're going to play a summer edition one. But first off, as many of you may have heard, tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm turning 37. So I made a little chocolate cake thing. So funny thing. So Carolyn and I have these little things that you can just stick into a ramekin and microwave in the microwave. And so I made it really quick a few minutes ago, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll have a cupcake with everybody." And I made it really quick, took it straight out of the microwave, and put the candle in, and you can see it like melted the bottom of the candle. So like it melted the bottom of the candle into the thing because the cupcake itself was still hot. Another fun fact, Aiden, you're probably I know you do a lot of cooking and making of desserts at home. You may have been able to help me on this. I went to go make it, and one of the ingredients that I didn't have were for breakfast today. I used the last of our eggs. So Carolyn and I didn't have any eggs, and for these things, you're supposed to crack one egg into the mix. It makes two of them. So Carolyn and I have the pre-made dry mix that we put together, and then make it really quick and stick it in the microwave when we want to treat. And I didn't have an egg to crack into the mix. So I just was like, well, maybe I'll try replacing an egg with 2 teaspoons of butter. So I added 2 teaspoons of butter. Figure, the fats and from the egg, maybe that would be replace it. And this is definitely harder than usual. So I think it'll taste good, but it definitely has, the texture of a older sponge after it's gotten dry. It kind of has that thing, but it smells really good. So I'm going to go ahead and light it and have a birthday moment for myself. Also, Caleb Thibodeau, I know you watch from your TV with your brother a lot. So if you are out there, I know tomorrow is also your birthday. He and I are birthday buddies. And funny enough, his middle name is also Richard. I always joke because I know his parents that was intentional, but it is not because of me. It's they have a family birthday, or a family member that they named his middle name Richard for. So happy birthday to me. Hope all my dreams come true. Actually, I did get myself a birthday present, and I was kind of excited about it. And literally 5 minutes ago, I got a text message from Home Depot that just said your order has been canceled. We no longer have the item in stock. So I was like, well, thanks a lot. So I had ordered myself a tool chest to organize some of my tools out in the garage. So I'm going to have to find a different alternative. It's not like all toolboxes everywhere, but the one that I was hoping to get wasn't available, which was fine. And honestly, it was like $20 cheaper to get a black one instead of a gray one. And I was like, well, I don't care what color it is. So I was like, well, I'll get the black one. So maybe I'll just spend an extra $20 and get the color that's probably in stock. They just didn't have the color that I had said because I wanted the cheaper one. Who doesn't want a cheaper toolbox? But that's enough about that. So if you guys are ready to get started, I'm going to go ahead and kick us off with some cuteness overload. So for those of you guys that know my mom, she's awesome. And one of the projects that she's been doing I guess I might move this out of the way, but I put this on the screen because people keep asking me what I'm going to do for my birthday. And I'm one of those people that growing up, my parents always threw me awesome birthday parties. You're going to see a picture of one here in a minute. But my parents' anniversary also happens to be the same date as my birthday. So as an anniversary present a few years down the road came Richard. And then from then on, my parents had to throw me a birthday party for their anniversary. So one of the things that I did was I figured tomorrow for my birthday, because I'll just make myself a really nice cup of espresso and just have a relaxing morning. And then in the evening, my parents and Carolyn and I are going to go out to dinner. So we're excited about that. But I just figured I'd show you guys, this is one of the many ways I have to make coffee at our house. This is a Stovetop Espresso. Actually, I'll give you guys, for those of you guys that don't drink coffee, I'll show you how it works real quick. Basically, if I can get it open, basically it screws apart and you stick coffee grounds into this. You can see there's little holes in there. You stick coffee grounds into this. You put water into here. So you put the water on the bottom, and then you screw this on top, and it's airtight. And what happens is you stick it on the stove, and steam gets created, and steam goes up through the bottom, goes through there, and then it comes out of this little spout. I don't know if you can see this little spout there, and fills up the top. So what makes that an espresso as opposed to just coffee is because it's made using steam. Because basically the water boils, steams comes up through the bottom, as opposed to coffee, which would be you put the hot water on top and then it drips down. So fun fact if you were wondering how that works. But my mom put a lot of work into scanning a bunch of our family photos. So she sent me a bunch of pictures in general. I think we had like 11,000 family photos. That's not just of our family, but like our family had amassed a collection from both of my grandparents and just tons of pictures. So my mom's been scanning them so we would have them available digitally. So 1984, that was the year I was born. So yes, I think I said it already. I'm turning 37 tomorrow. But you're going to get some cuteness overloads here. This is baby Richard. So that's me from when I was really little. So once again, it looks like we have a few more people that have joined us. If you want me to know that you're watching, you can send me a text if you're watching on your TV, or also just go ahead and put your name into the chat and let me know that you're here. And then we can keep going. And here we go with the next picture. Oh my goodness. I haven't changed one bit. Did I nail it? That is no doubt a face as I was eating. That looks pretty much how I eat now. Yep, I look the same. Haven't changed one bit. Here's a picture of my grandma with my sister and I. Oh, hey, Elsa. Thanks for letting me know you're watching. Glad you could join. So, Elsa, once again, for our game we're going to play in a minute, you can text your answers to me, and we'll get you involved as well. And so this is a picture of me and my sister with my grandma. Got a couple more here. Once again, baby Richard. So cute. Most adorable thing ever, wouldn't you say? What in the world happened to me? You know? No. Couple more. my sister and I one year for Halloween. My first Halloween, I was a baseball player. It's kind of hard to tell, but that's a little baseball bat. I think it was more made out of socks or something like that. But there we go. And then one little picture of the little guy crawling on his blanket. And there we go. I think this is the last. No, I've got two more, or one more after this one. But this was a picture from my 4th birthday party. No doubt my sister decorated the cake herself, and she's proudly displaying. It looks like it's got might be difficult for you guys to see it, but it looks like it's got little gumdrop things on top. So my sister no doubt helped create that, and many, many good memories. And I don't know why I threw this one in there, but just me with Santa. So back when I was little, there was a tradition where we'd always go see Santa, and I know a lot of kids do that still today. So there's that, and that was a flashback for me to 1984. So glad you guys could be joining me back on that treat. You know what? I blew out my candle. I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite of this thing and see how it tastes. So Aiden, do you have any ideas of what would have been a better idea than butter to replace an egg? Any guesses on that one? It did turn out. I still have a cake, but it definitely doesn't feel soft. It's like crumbly. It still tastes good. Honestly, it's more like a cookie. Huh. What I have here is the world's thickest cookie. It's actually delicious. But like I said, it's more like a cookie and less like cake. So maybe I needed to make sure I had a glass of milk to wash it down. But, that's going to be a little difficult to eat. It's kind of dry. So I'll finish it later with a glass of milk. And we will move on to our game. So the way this game works is there's going to be a picture on your right and a picture on your left. And you have to try to be as quick as possible to spot the duplicate. Oh, I have heard of using applesauce. That's a good idea. I think we do have some applesauce. I don't think we have any bananas. But yeah, that's a good idea, Aiden. Thanks for looking into that. I'll have to try that next time I don't have eggs. Try the applesauce. So the way this game works is we're going to put a picture up on the screen, and you're going to be looking at the left side and the right side. Try moving the screen up a little bit so you guys can get a little better image. There we go. Of the screen. And we're going to basically, there's a left and a right, and you have to look at the picture and you have to try to guess. What do you think is, or not guess, but you have to try to be the first person to find an item that's this on both sides, left and the right. So this is a summer edition. So just as a clarification, for some of the pictures, I want you guys to specifically tell me what the duplicate is, because one of them is if there's a ball, you have to say what kind of ball, because there's some that has like a basketball, a beach ball, a baseball. So you need a football. You have to clarify what kind of ball. So that's one that you have to clarify. And another one is fruit. If you see fruit, you have to clarify what kind of fruit it is. You can't just say fruit, because it might have multiple options that are both fruit. So to clarify there. So just to once again go over the rules, you have to try to be as fast as possible, getting your answer in, getting everything set up, and we're good to go. So first one to get their answer in wins, and then we're good to go. So once again, I see some of you guys are not in the chat that are watching. And also, if you're watching and you're on your TV or your phone, you can send me a text. So I know Caleb, Nick, if you guys want to send me texts, you're free to do that. Elsa, feel free to send us texts, and then we will get going. So here it's the first round. First person to get the correct answer in wins. If you put the wrong answer, you're not allowed to go again. So ready, set, go. For some reason, this one took me forever, so I can understand if it takes you guys a minute. So just to clarify, sometimes the sizes are different. Sometimes the orientation is different. Like it may have moved. This one's taking you guys a second. Okay, yeah, well done, Aiden. Aiden got, honestly, I think Aiden and Elsa tied on that one, because it was pretty much like I saw your answer. So I guess I should clarify. Yes, that is true, Mom. I should have clarified this one, that those are not the same kid. But yes, there are kids on both of those pictures, but that is not the correct answer. Nice try. So we're going to call that one a tie. It was difficult to tell because I got one of the responses via chat and one of the responses via text, but they were kind of like, I was reading Aiden's and then I saw that my phone light was on, so we'll call that one a tie. Here we go, next one. Oh, I guess that wasn't the next one. Yeah, answer, yes, the campfire right there. So yeah, once again, reminder, the sizes can change as well as the orientation. So sometimes you might, like the butterfly here, you might have a butterfly there, and then you might have the same butterfly, but it's flying the other direction in the other picture. So here we go. Ready, set, go. I'll slide over a tiny bit. Which one is on multiple pages? Apples. Yes, well done, Aiden. Oh, so you guys, Aiden and Elsa, you guys are kind of on the same wavelength here, but I'm gonna give that one to Aiden. I think Aiden got you by a second there, Elsa. So here we go. Once again, we've got a few people that have joined. Go ahead and if you're watching and you're engaged in the chat, you can just go ahead and write your name in. If you're having trouble getting into the chat, you can send messages via my text. If you have my phone number, and hopefully you can get that. If not, try to figure out if your parents have it or if there's somewhere other way you can get it. Okay, here we go. Yes, good job, Apple. This one's taking a second. Oh, that one was definitely Elsa on that one. Good job, Elsa. Elsa definitely won that round with the tent. Yes, there's a tent right here. And further than I can reach over there. So good job on that one, Elsa. Okay, good job. Here we go. Next one. Here we go. Ready, set, go. What is the duplicate item? What is the duplicate item? Oh, Elsa, that's 2 rounds in a row. I think Elsa got us on that one. So good job, Elsa. You're killing the game. The truck is in there twice. So good job. Here we go. Next round. Got a face-off going to see how fast people. Oh, so Aiden, we're gonna give that one to Elsa because this is one of the ones where we said you have to clarify baseball. So Elsa got you typed in Aiden and Elsa both put in ball at the same time, but Elsa said baseball. So Elsa, we're gonna give that one to you. I think that's 3 in a row for Elsa. So come on, commuter people, let's get her beat on this one. Here we go. Ready, set, go. Oops, sorry. Ready, set, go. Yes, Aiden, I saw that you said baseball, but you said ball at the same time that Elsa said ball and then clarified it. So Aiden, we're giving that one. We're going to give that one to you. You did say kid, and Carla, Elsa, I love the fact that you said redhead kid. Nice clarification on that one. But we're going to give that one to Aiden because he was a few seconds ahead. Here we go. We got a couple more here. We're going to keep going. Ready? I guess this is the answer round. Ready, set, go. It's a tough one. Corn. That is, both of those are very small. We're going to give that one to Aiden. Good job, Aiden, on that one. Both of them are quite small, but Aiden definitely got that one first. We got corn. And then on the far side, it's tough when they're both small, but they are the same size, which makes it a little easier, I think. But good job, Aiden. Okay, here we go. Next one. Tough one. Tough one. Popsicle. Good job, Aiden. Aiden definitely got that one first. So it's funny. Cole said he was going to be here, and I know Cole loves this game, so he's missing out playing this game with us. But good job on that one, Aiden. So it's definitely the popsicle, or the rocket pop, as I grew up calling those. Here we go. We got at least two more rounds. Good job. Here we go. Ready, set, go. I guess I'm covering the screen a bit, but I don't think I'm blocking the correct answer. Cone. Good job. That was. I'm gonna go. That one was a tie with two of you guys. That was almost the exact same time, so I can't tell the difference. But fortunately, that wasn't our last one, so we don't have to call that the official tiebreaker round. Here we go. Next one. Oh, I guess there we go. Yes, the cone. I'm gonna slide over, make sure I'm not in the way. Looks like we got two more rounds. Ready, set, go. I'm trying to pay attention to both devices, make sure I get the answer when it happens as quickly as possible. Yep, definitely Aiden on that one. It is fire. The campfire. Good job. Last round. Here we go. Ready, set, go. For those of us that like things in a nice, organized fashion, fire. No. It's close, but those aren't quite the same fire. One's a sun, one's a firework. This one's tough. Definitely the toughest one. Nope, not the other fire. Those are different fires as well, so they don't quite match. Yeah, one's a barbecue, one's a campfire. Amy Wozni coming in with the final round. Yeah, baseball. This one was very sneaky. So I'll give you guys another couple of seconds now that Amy gave us the answer to see if you can see it. Elsa saw it. Amy got it first. There we go. They snuck a baseball inside of the life ring. So the baseball's right there. So that one was very sneaky. Very sneaky. So I don't think the adults have a better chance at winning this next question. But I'm going to go back really quick to before we were playing the game and put the 1984 up there. So one of the things that I thought was just interesting is I went and I looked up some historical facts and interesting things on this date in 1984. And honestly, none of nothing all that exciting happened on this date in 1984, so there wasn't a whole lot of interesting stuff there. But I did see a statistic where it said the world population. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to just write in how many people you think were on the planet, and we're going to go. The way you're going to put in your answers is you're going to give one number, and then you're going to put point, and then another number, and the answer is billion. So the current world population is 7.9 billion people. 7.9 billion people. So the year I was born, 1984, how many billion people do you think there were? So you could say, I think the population has gone up 1 billion, so you would say 6.9 billion. So we'll see, just for fun, see who can get the closest. How many billion people do you think there were on the planet in 1984, the year I was born? So the current population is 7.9 billion. So go ahead and just guess a number. It's okay if you get wrong. So we got Lucian got 5.8. Marty got 3.2. Amy said 5.2. So those are all good guesses. Elsa guessed 4.5 billion. Aiden guessed 5.6 billion. Those are all very good guesses. Honestly, if you had asked me, I would have had no idea either. But Elsa, you were the closest. It was 4.3. So 4.3 billion. So Elsa, you were only off by 0.2 billion, which is like nothing. So just a fun fact about the year 1984. The population was 4.3 billion people. So the population has almost doubled since 1984. So it went from 4.3 to 7.9. So just an interesting fun fact there. But that's it for our game time. I'm going to throw up our restless slide for you guys here really quick. So I've told you guys this story a couple times from the Bible. It's in the book of Luke, and it's I don't want to say it's always told around the Christmas time, but typically when we talk about Christmas, this story might come up when you're talking about anybody other than Jesus around Christmas, right? You hear the story of Jesus, you hear the story of Mary, Jesus, and Joseph. You hear the story of Jesus's birth, right? And one of the other stories that we get told every once in a while is also the birth of John the Baptist, right? And in the church calendar, we have this thing that nobody anywhere else would ever use the word a liturgical calendar. But in the church, we call it the liturgical calendar, which is kind of how we organize services, like church services, throughout the course of the year. And the only two birthdays that we celebrate on the liturgical calendar, like this upcoming week, is Pentecost, right? Pentecost is a date on the liturgical calendar, and what Pentecost is when we celebrate the coming of the Holy Spirit, right? When the Holy Spirit came down and was given. So we celebrate two birthdays on the liturgical calendar. One birthday is Jesus's birthday. So I'm just sharing about this because it's my birthday, right? So, but the only other person's birthday that is celebrated in the liturgical calendar is the birthday of John the Baptist. And we're coming up on that one here pretty soon because it's halfway through the year between Jesus's birth. So one of the things that I love about this story is it's kind of I don't want to say it's a contrast to the birth of Jesus, but it's kind of one of those issues where we see it and we see someone given a very similar circumstance with a different response, right? So we know the story of Jesus where the angel comes to Mary and he says, "You're going to be with child. You're going to name him Jesus," right? We know the whole Christmas story. We have the story of Zechariah, and so we have Mary and Joseph, who are the parents of Jesus. Everybody knows that, right? And then we have the story of Elizabeth and Zechariah, and they're the story of John the Baptist. You guys might not always remember that those names are connected, but John the Baptist's parents were Zechariah and Elizabeth. And in this Bible passage in Luke, we have this story of the angel Gabriel appears to Zechariah, tells him he is going to have a child and he is to name him John, right? Very similar to the story of Jesus, where the angel comes to Mary, says, you're going to bear a child and you are going to name him Jesus. So same circumstance, right? And Mary kind of has that moment of, well, this is going to be a difficult situation. I don't know what to say, but obviously this is a message from God, and I am going to believe what you're saying. But in Zechariah's story, he gets told the exact same thing, except his response is, but how can this be? He starts asking all these questions. How's that possible? I'm old, yada, 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 yada. And the angel just basically tells him, because you have been asking so many questions, you're asking but how and why, and I'm going to make it so that from now until the birth of your child, you're not going to be able to speak, right? So a perfectly functioning man was made mute. Mute is what it's called when you can't talk. And he was made mute. And we have this situation where I love the, I guess I just love the struggle of this example, because we all want to say like, oh, we would be so faithful and we would just believe blindly if an angel came us and told us something was going to happen. But the reality of it is, there is an element of human doubt, right? We doubt things. Even if somebody tells you they're going to do something, we kind of have that mentality of like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Kind of like I ordered the toolbox, right? And I kind of just assumed that it was going to be available for pickup, like they said. And then I get a text saying your order has been canceled. And now, from now on, whenever I order something from Home Depot, I'm going to kind of have this doubt in the back of my mind, thinking like, is it actually going to be there when I go to pick it up? Am I going to order something and they're just going to tell me that it's not available again, right? When we've experienced some form of disappointment, we don't always there from then on know if it's going to be true. And I'm sure Zechariah, despite being a man of great faith, right? He was a man of faith. He did believe in God. He lived a life serving God his entire life, right? But in that moment, he's like, we've wanted children and it just never happened. Is this really going to be true? And there's that seed of doubt in the back of his mind of, was this real? Right? So if I'm honest with myself, and maybe if you're honest with yourself too, it's somewhat easier to relate with Zechariah than it is to relate with Mary in this story, where we want to believe the best, right? We want to believe that what we want is going to happen, but sometimes there's that seed of doubt in the back of our mind. And I love this story. Because basically there's a chapter in the middle. So I'm going to grab my Bible real quick. So we have in chapter 1 of Luke, halfway through, it's the birth of John the Baptist foretold. So before even the story of Jesus in the book of Luke happens, we get the story of the birth of John the Baptist foretold. So the angel Gabriel comes to John the Baptist's father, Zechariah, and he tells him, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. You are going to have a son. You are going to name him John. And Zechariah's response was like, yeah, but, how's this going to work? Yeah, but. So then that's what happens there. And then chapter 2 is where you get the birth of Jesus foretold, right? So similar circumstance, right? Jesus comes to Mary, says, you're going to bear a child, you're going to name him Jesus, right? Similar circumstance, different response. Mary says, This is going to be hard, right? She obviously is aware, but she says, I trust that this is in God's plan, and let it be so. Let God's will be so, right? That was her response. And Zechariah, despite serving faithfully the Lord for many, many years, many lifetimes, not many lifetimes, but the entirety of his lifetime, says, yeah, but, and then we have this next bit where we have in chapter 3, I think it's chapter 3. No, it's, sorry, the end of chapter 1, we have the birth of John the Baptist. So the funny thing with the birth of John the Baptist, and I like to tell this story to you guys today, because for those of you guys that frequently, like, a great topic of conversation is people talk about how they got their names, right? And some people, like, I have a friend, and Amy, he's great friends with your son Tim, is Hank Cavaniero, right? And actually Elsa, your brother Russell, right? He's Russell Hayes the third, right? And you have these traditions in your family where you have somebody that might be named the same thing, or named after somebody in your family. Or at the beginning, I shared about Caleb's middle name being Richard because they have a family member named Richard, right? And my parents named me Richard because they wanted me to have lots of options, because my dad's first name is Wayne. So there's nothing wrong with the name Wayne, but my dad didn't love the name Wayne. But there's nothing you can go by instead of for Wayne. Like, what do you call somebody whose name is Wayne instead of Wayne? Like, there's no options. So they named me Richard so that I could have lots of options. Because, if I wanted to, I could be Rich, I could be Ricky, I could be Richie, right? I have lots of options. So, they gave me lots of options, and I go by Richard. Go figure. But in this story, right, we have Zechariah. And he's been communicating by, for us, pens and papers are an easy thing, right? I've got tons of these pads of paper all over the place. Got tons of pens. I've got 3 pens just sitting on my desk right now. And writing a note is a simple thing. 2,000 years ago, paper was not an easy thing to find. It was expensive. And so it said when Zechariah would have to communicate, he would use a tablet, right? We're not talking like iPad. We're talking like this guy actually had to go through a lot of effort to try to communicate. And he had managed to communicate the message that Gabriel had given him, that you are to name him John. So John the Baptist gets born, and everybody asks Elizabeth, John the Baptist's mom, so what are you going to name this child? And she says, John. And everybody's response is, why are you naming him John? Because there's no one in your family and throughout history that has been named John, right? Or not that in history has been named John, but it doesn't line up with what we think you should be naming this child. And in that moment, that is when Zechariah is finally able to speak and then share his message. We are naming him John because this is what the Lord has decreed to me. This is what the Lord told me to do. This is something that, so after, pregnancy 9 months, 10 months, after this whole period, he's finally able to share this good news. I don't know about you guys, if you've ever had something that you've wanted to share so hard, but I don't know, the best example I can think of is if you were a little kid and you really wanted to tell your parents something, but they're having the adult conversation and you're trying to butt in mom. And she's like, wait, hold on a second. Wait, I'm having an adult conversation. I know you have something really important to tell me. That's how I kind of am thinking of Zechariah being throughout this whole time, he's like, I have a message that I want to share to everybody, that an angel came to me and told me to tell you this is our son and this is what he is going to do. Right. And we know the story of John the Baptist now is that he came to prepare the way for Jesus. He came to proclaim that the Messiah is coming, the one that you have been waiting for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's going to set God's people free. He is here. Right. So he had great news to share, but he wasn't able to share it until this point. So I love this story as a birthday story because it gives us this glimpse into. I love stories in the Bible where I find the people that we're hearing the story really relatable to. Right, on Sunday morning we've been going through the Psalm 119, right, and we're talking about David, who I like David because like we know him as a savior, but we also see him as a failure, right? We see his mistakes. I like the stories of the disciples, right? Because they're just normal guys that were chosen by God to do great things, right? We're talking like fishermen. And even at times the disciples were sharing the gospel of Jesus and sharing and preaching, and people are like, who are these guys? Like, how are they so like passionate about bringing this message when they're just humble fishermen, right? And I love the story of Zechariah, because Zechariah was a man who served God faithfully. He served God kind of quietly behind the scenes, and in that moment he still had like a kernel of doubt. And we see that even though he had that moment, it's not like God didn't know that that was going to happen, right? He knew that he was still going to have that moment of questioning, wait, why is this how this has to be? But God still chose to bless him. God still chose to use him, and he got to watch his son be the one who prepared the way for the Messiah. So despite his doubt, despite his failing faith, right? We would call it, like, if you're honest, like, doubt is a word, but also failing faith is another way you can describe a doubt. God still chose to bless him. God still chose to give him a great gift. Because if, I don't know about you guys, but that seems like a pretty awesome blessing from God. If you're a man who served God faithfully, and then he says, I'm going to use your son to bring the message of the Messiah, not to message, but to tell people that the Messiah is coming, right? So that's my, I guess my message to you today, and my message to myself too, is that even in those moments when we're struggling, or even in those moments where we're saying, God, where are you in this? Some of you guys might be in a season of your life where you're looking around and saying like, this, I'm not totally stoked on how my life is going right now. Where is God in this? Right? And I want you to look at the story of Zechariah, who even in the presence of an angel still had a mentality of, I don't know how that's going to happen. And God still blessed him. God still gave him a great gift. Right? So when for me on this is my birthday message, is a reminder that the circumstances of the world around us might look weird, but we never know what blessing God has coming around the corner. I promise you, Zechariah, when he went to work that day, so he was a priest, he worked in the temple. So when he went to worship, I guess, that day, he wasn't thinking, I'm going to be told that I'm going to have a son, right? It was a very unexpected blessing. But for us, what we can take away is that we also all have unexpected blessings coming. God has a desire to bless us. God has a desire to give us good gifts, right? And we don't always know what they're going to be. So my challenge, I guess not a challenge, but my message for us today is, one, it's okay if you have that moment of, I'm unsure, or I don't know what God is doing, right? You don't have to have all the answers. The Bible doesn't say, hey, I want you to just know everything, right? No, it says, I just want you to trust God. And that's the message that Gabriel was giving to Zechariah in that moment. Just trust me, good things are coming. So that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and log off. Oh, I forgot my Nerf gun. Give me 10 seconds. So I forgot my gun to shoot up the camera. I got it last week. There we go. That would have been a bummer. Sometimes I forget to get my camera. So for those of you guys that are still on, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I hope to see you soon. We have a program, and I'm hoping to get some summer service projects set up. So I love you guys. I miss you guys. I hope to see you soon. Let's see if I can't shoot out the camera. Oh, miss. Oh, just over. Oh, you can see it. Oh, I hit it, but it didn't stick. Oh, so close. I think I'm out. Well, I didn't get the camera off today, but you guys have a fantastic weekend. See you soon. Bye.